again, Dr. Sean J. Harris here with Generational Wealth Academy. And let me tell you this. As a man thinketh, so is he. As a man continues to think, so he shall remain. See, creating generational wealth or having a wealth mindset, a millionaire mindset, it comes from the way we think. Tara and I, we have a very unorthodox way of thinking compared to just common people, I guess, or everyday people. But all people who do create wealth do think quite differently than the average person. I just want to share one example of the way we think. Say, for example, I used to do yard work. I used to do stuff around the house or whatever. And you would do it thinking that you're saving money, or hey, I know how to do this, so I'll do it myself, whether it's working on the car, doing yard work, or repair around the house. But if, let's say, for example, this morning, as a matter of fact, we have a demolition team coming in and do some work on some flooring in the house. I know how to do it myself, but the time that it takes me to do it, I can do something way more creative. So I'd rather pay someone else to do it. Say, for example, with the yard. If it takes me an hour to do the yard, but I can pay a guy $60 to do that, then that's saying that was $60 of my time utilizing a whole hour, which I can make tons of way more money in that same hour. So I want to share with you just a slight thought process of how we do things differently, even if it's the way we purchase cars. We believe there's a way you can go to college more economically, excuse me, without, actually for free, basically, but I'll teach that on another day. But I want to share with you an example of purchasing vehicles. I know a lot of people are interested in buying new vehicles, particularly at the first of the year. But I remember probably about 15 years ago, I had a friend of mine. He said, "Hey, Sean, look, let's go make money." I said, "Okay, what you got in mind?" He said, "How much money do you have in your pocket right now?" And I said, "I got about $100 in my pocket right now." And he said, "Let's go, we're gonna make some money." So he said, "Let's go to this auto auction." I said, "Man, there's no way possible I'm gonna buy a car for $100. Long story short, I ended up buying like a 1983 Honda Accord. It was $60, and I bought the vehicle. So back then, we didn't have cell phone technology the way we do now with camera systems to load stuff up online. So I took a picture of one of those old-fashioned cameras that you put the hard sloppy disk in the side. We took it home, put it on eBay Motors, and I sold the car that night for $120. Now here's the cool thing. At this auto auction, I didn't have to pick the car up for 7 days. So I utilized or leveraged their real estate in holding the car while I go make a sale, and the person would come there and pick it up. So I had a somewhat of a virtual physical car lot that I wasn't responsible for the car lot. So I sold that car for $120. I doubled my profit. Then I went back a couple days later and I ended up buying, I think it was a Mazda Mirage or something like that. I bought that car for just over $100, but I ended up flipping that sale 2 days later, and I sold that car for like $340. So you can see how it started growing. So what happened was I ended up elevating the cars that I was getting. I started getting more advanced cars, started getting newer model cars, and I ultimately got into BMWs and Mercedes and cars like that. So I never utilized new funds for my money. It was that same $60 that just kept turning over and over and over. See, so this is the thought process. Now I wanted to illustrate that story to you to show you, leapfrog that story a little bit later. I had a buddy of mine who was interested in getting a Suburban. He said, "Hey, look, I found the Suburban. It's $35,000 on this used lot." And I was like, "Man, I can find you that Suburban for like $13,000. Now, for the $13,000, I said, worst case scenario, let's suppose you needed a new engine and a new transmission. But if you bought that car and let's say the transmission plus the engine cost you another, let's say $7,000, that puts you at $20,000 all in. But at this point, you have a brand new vehicle. You got the body style was in great condition. You would have had a new engine and a new transmission. But on the flip side, where he paid $35,000 for the car, which only gave him maybe a 30 to 60 day warranty, well, the transmission or the engine could have went out. So you see how the thought processes are different. So the way we move is quite differently. And I'll go ahead and share the college tip I was sharing with you guys earlier. I was going to share, but like going to school, a lot of people incur major debt going to college, and people my age that still have college student loan debt. And you have to realize that there's smarter ways of doing stuff. And we have to realize that because we may not understand something doesn't mean that it's not right. It's just that we don't understand that. So one technique that we use for school, and we're actually doing it right now, we're going to walk you guys through the process as it happens. You guys know that DJ went away to the Air Force this past Tuesday. Well, DJ's going into the Air Force. He has a guaranteed job already. He's going to be a aerospace medic tech. So that's the job field that the military is going to give him totally for free, that he doesn't have to pay anything for. But while he's in, he's able to go to college if he decides for a whole different profession. Let's say he goes for dentistry and he gets a degree in that field. Well, when he gets out of the Air Force, he still has a GI, Montgomery GI Bill that he'll be able to utilize to go to school further. So within 6 to 8 years, he can have 3 hard skill sets that all make well over 6 figures each. And he doesn't owe any loan repayment because it's totally free. See, we have to do things strategically. That's one of the ways you're going to build wealth, because if we keep using the same thought process or the same mindset that we've used to get us where we are, well, we're going to continue being there. We all heard the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing we did yesterday, thinking tomorrow's going to be different. So you have to renew your mindset, and then that renews everything else. So if you say, hey Sean, I want to eat better, I want to live better, I want to drive better, I want to travel different places. Well, we can't do that, keep doing the same things that we were doing in the past. You got to change the mindset. So whatever you tell your mind, it's going to believe it. If you tell yourself something long enough, your mind will believe it and your body will then follow suit. So it's kind of like a person who just felt they were an ugly duckling. If you kept telling yourself that, but you're very attractive, you got to really feel that you're the ugly duckling. So it all starts with renewing of the mind. Look behind me, I got books galore in my office. I got books over here off camera, got books behind me over here, books. And that helps renew your mind. Just like we eat healthy food, or we're supposed to eat healthy food to strengthen and condition our body. We go to the gym to work out to strengthen and condition our muscles. Well, the way you strengthen and condition our mind is through reading, through association, through just learning new things. So as we got this new year going, set your goals. If you have not set out your 2022 goals, go ahead. Listen, I think we got 357 or 56 days left to achieve your 2022 goals. Time is running out. So let's go. Let's get it.